Good morning and welcome to Now Streaming Show. Now Streaming Show is your one-stop show for all the latest news headlines on this terrain, and also today is our sports update. I'm your anchor this morning, Chukwebuka Ike, and we are live from the capital city of Abuja. So get ready for a show packed with so much, and as we dive into the top news stories and sport highlights from around the world. So we're going to move slightly from politics to a little bit of entertainment, which is football, and just all that on sports we've got to cover this morning. So sit back, relax, and let us get started. But before then, I have with me my co-anchor, Mr. Godwin Ujiri.
All right, good morning, Ibuka, and a very beautiful morning to our viewers out there.
And also, we have in the studio with us Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo. Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo is a social and sports commentator. Good morning, Mr. Raphael.
Good morning, Mr. Ebuka, and good morning, Mr. Godwin.
Good morning.
All right, thank you so much. And so, joining us virtually from Delta State is our regular guest, Comrade Abraham Soko. He is a political and sports analyst. Viewers, remember you can be part of the show by calling the numbers now showing on your screen or sending your comment via our various social media handles. 2013, FC Dynamo Tbilisi Academy was inaugurated by Cristiano Ronaldo. 11 years after, 11 boys from the said academy played against Ronaldo's Portuguese national team, and Georgia won the game with a whipping 2-0 victory. Welcome back to Now Streaming, and we are back with the latest sports updates from the Nigerian Premier League to the Euros and Copa America. We've got all the highlights and analysis you need to stay ahead with. And don't forget, we'll be expecting your calls and comments via our various phone numbers now showing on your screen and our social media handles also showing on your screen. Stay tuned as we look into the world of sports. But first, let's start with the Punch Sports Extra update. All right, so before me here we have the lead story on the Punch Sports Extra. It says the Golden Boot is mine. Boma on cloud 9 after claiming NPFL top scorer award following final day's jitters. All right, that's started on the front page and continues on page 7 of Point Sports Extra. All right, so the bottom strip story says on page 2, Joshua IBF title bold confirmed as Yusuke vacates belt. Page 5, you have the Red Devils pounder 70 million pounds. Calvert Lewin's move. And beside that, also we have on page 2, Nigeria win women's 4x400 meter Miss Olympics ticket. Alright, so above the masthead we have SARS finds love on the course. That's on page 2. Also, Man United to offer 60 million euros for Lookman. That's on page 6. And also on page 6 we have Big Ena. Wage demands stops Didi Marcel move. And then page 8 has the group E 4 teams, 4 points each. Ukraine crash. Romania, Belgium and Slovakia advances. Alright, so beside the masthead we have Rudiger doubtful for Denmark clash. That's on page 3. And why UEFA handed Danes Group C second spot. Okay, then we have on page 6 also Italian coach Ladi wants Eagles job. And also on page 6 it says Dassas in talks to join Econ at PAOK. Page 6 has the Rodion in Spain's Olympic squad. Wow. And then page 4 has the final story. Says Bayern won't pay 60 million pounds for Fehina. Alright, so we were back here in the studio. We still have with us my co-anchor Mr. Godwin Ujiri and our guest Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo and also Comrade Abraham Suko still here with us on the show. Alright, if you guys remember, like I said earlier on, this show is for you and for all of us. So please join the conversation by calling on the numbers showing on your screen or sending your comment via our various social media handle. Alright, so let's move ahead. And Mr. Raphael, the Nigerian Premier League, NPFL, has declared Rangers of Enugu as
Declare that be the one.
according to the post or to the publication, it says they are champions elect. Yes, Rangers are champions elect. So they've been presented the trophy, and they are now the defending champion of the NPFL. Well, before we talk about that, their championship, I would like to read um, a decision on the meeting of the Nigerian Football Federation Disciplinary Committee, which held on the 21st of June. I'm just trying to pull us back a little bit to the current stance with the disciplinary committee on what happened when Eimba played against Rangers United. All right, so the finding says that the committee found out that the match venue was overcrowded. It had 32,000. The stadium was at 32,000 capacity, but at that match we had over 70,000 spectators. And two, the Eyimba Football Club protested the award of the penalty kick in favor of Rangers International FC at the 90th plus 5 minutes of play and disrupt the play. And three, there's Eyimba Football Club players with jersey number 10, number 27, and number 6 attacked the assistant referee one when he raised up his flag to signal for a penalty kick against their club. And then that Eyimba Football Club supporters encroached into the field of play and chased away the match officials. Finally, as number 6 finding that the officials of the Eyimba FC admitted in evidence that the actions of their players and fans were condemnable and not too good for the promotion of football and against the spirit of sportsmanship. Alright, so the following decisions were taken by the disciplinary committee. One, the committee adopts the summary jurisdiction form 16 contained in paragraph 1 and upholds the 1 million naira fine against Eyimba FC for failure to ensure the proper conduct of their players, officials, and supporters. And number 2, it says that the committee disagrees with the decision in paragraph 2 of the summary jurisdiction notice from form 16 that the live broadcast transmission was disrupted by Eyimba FC for want of evidence. Therefore, the 5 million naira fine imposed is hereby set aside. Number 3, that the committee disagrees with the decision in paragraph 3 of the summary jurisdiction notice form 16 that the supporters of Eyimba FC threw objects into the fields of play for lack of evidence. The 1 million naira fine is hereby set aside. Then number 4, the committee agrees with the decision of the summary jurisdiction notice form 16 contained in paragraph 4 against Eyimba FC for the refusal to continue with the match in a protest against the award of the penalty. So the 3 points and 3 goals awarded in favor of Rangers International FC is hereby upheld in accordance with Article 13.226 of the MPFL framework. And then the committee upholds the 1 million naira fine imposed on Eyimba FC for encroaching into the field. And then finally, the committee agrees that with the fine of 2 million naira imposed on Eyimba FC for the disruption of the continuation of the match. So with this, I'm trying to shield or guide my points when I said that Rangers are the champions elect, because if not for this incident, I don't think they will be
Crown
champions. So
I beg to differ.
All right.
Because even if you check the table, if you take away that 3 points, there's still, I think there's still 3 or 4 points away from Remo Stars, who came second. Eyimba was not even anywhere close to them. Eyimba was third. It was Remo Stars that came second. So, but then again, that's what we talk about when you watch. Do we even watch it? Local league football. You know, they've been the clamor for live streaming of these games so that people can see what is happening behind the closed doors. And like for that, the capacity of the stadium that we talked about is an Oriental derby.
Mm.
You should expect, even more than that. When you watch the EPL and you want to watch Man U play Man City, even you here in Nigeria, there's that feeling that if you have your way, you'll be in that stadium as a Man U fan or as a Man City fan. The same goes for Arsenal, Tottenham. These are own Man City and Man U. Aimba playing Rangers, and it's not just about winning now; it's about pride. Pride is at stake, and this derby has been on for years. And you had a game like that with that kind of capacity, and we don't have before players can encroach your pitch. That means you don't have any security apparatus in place.
Hmm.
Because if you had security apparatus in place, I don't think anybody will run into the pitch just the way they entered the pitch. And do we even have what's it called, VAR, to check if that was actually a penalty or not? Because we've seen so many penalty calls given just because the home team must get the results. You played 90 minutes and we had 8 minutes extra, and on the 95th minute you're getting a penalty. Nobody says it's impossible to get a penalty, but then again, who's to say if that is actually a penalty or not? And of course, the away fan thought they were being undone by the officials, and they ran onto the pitch, which we have always spoken against, because nobody wants to. You don't want to see the end point of rioting, of field encroachment that leads to fighting and all. So I think whatever punishments that the body has given to Aimba, I think they deserve it. They deserved it because they should have been able to um, sensitize even the players that went to attack the assistant referee. You get, but then again, what are your security apparatus on ground? Because if we have things in place and people have been punished a lot for these things, I don't think they'll be playing, coming back again. And if you want to punish things like this for event like this, you take them to a neutral ground to play, or you play behind closed doors.
Yeah. All right. So, Comrade Soko, um, just to give you a rundown before you will hear your comments, just from the 2024 MPFL season, we have first position and second position going for CAF Champions League. That is Rangers and Remo Stars. And then we also have third and fourth position going for the CAF Confederation Cup. That's Aimba. And then the winner of the FA Cup, of the Federation Cup, which will be played this weekend. At this weekend, 29th June 2024, at Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos, up against Abia Warriors and El Kanami Warriors. Also, the two Warriors will be battling together. So let's get your view about this NPLFL finals champions, the Federation Cup, also. And then we also want to talk about the teams that have been relegated. That's Sporting Lagos, Doma United, Kumbe United, and Heartland FC. Tell us, what do you think? Why is it that self-sponsored leagues or teams are falling out of the Nigerian Premier League?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. I also want to start by saying that I beg to differ with you on your declaration of Enugu Rangers as the champions. I feel that they deserved to win that championship.
Why do you feel so?
They won with 5 points, and 5 points is a lot. And not taking away from that controversial match, I want to say that controversy is part of football. We tend to believe that controversy is an African thing. It's not just an African thing. Even in Europe, with all their technology, these things also happen. I think there was a game. We also said it on the show. There was a game between Arsenal and Tottenham. There were 3 contentious decisions in that game. If it was to be in Africa, I believe that we could have seen a pitch invasion and serious violence if it was to be in Africa. So I want to say that these controversies happen in football. That is not to take away from the fact that Enugu Rangers actually deserved to win the championship. On state-sponsored teams, I think it all boils down to probably, I don't know, would I call it a lack of talent? Because most of these state-sponsored teams, they have the infrastructure. I really had high hopes for this Sporting Lagos. I have a friend that grew up in Delta State. He played for our university team. I think he got signed for that team, and he's actually really talented. So, and I also believe that the Lagos Sporting Lagos, they got all the backing from the Lagos state government, so we cannot really blame it on infrastructure. So I probably want to say is probably the lack of talent. That's what led to they are going back to on relegation just 1 year that they were promoted. So I really feel bad for them because that's one team that I actually have high hopes for, and I felt that they were going to really go to the next level. So I'm really disappointed that it did not really translate to that. They couldn't compete with the big boys. So it was really sad for me on that. Then on the Federation Cup, I really want to say that the Federation Cup was really exciting. It was a tournament that saw most of the established, the traditional stars that had the Nigerian football heritage. They were knocked out. So I want to really commend the Abia Warriors. They are doing very well, and I'm tipping them for them to win the Federation Cup because their journey has been really. It has been like a fantasy for them. So I really want to give it to the Abia Warriors to lift the Federation Cup. ACNN, they have the history. They are more traditional because right from time we have been hearing of ACNN or Bono, but I really want to give this year's Federation Cup to Abia Warriors. Thank you, Mr. Ebuka.
All right. Thank you so much, Comrade Soko, for that very insightful highlights there. One thing that got me as you were speaking was the fact that you really disagree. Rangers indeed ought to be the champions however they emerge. They actually played good football, and although you said that there's this word you use, something must make the champions to really emerge, and like Comrade said, it was more or less an oriental derby, and the overcrowding stadium does not really stand to say is an issue to say, because had it been issues did not come up in the course of the match, we would have still appreciated the fact that a whole lot of Nigerians turned out to watch that match. All right, that being said, we would be moving on very quickly to look at other things. And Mr. Ralph, I would be coming to you still holding on to the Nigerian Premier League. Mboma in Clad 9 after winning MPFL Top Scorer Award. What is your take on this before we consider other stories?
For a league that is very tight, because if you check the tables, you see how close most of these teams are with their points. But congratulations to him first and foremost. But I'm still looking forward to the year. Maybe a striker from the Nigerian league will score maybe 20 goals, 30 goals, or thereabouts, like the Haaland, like Ronaldo's and co will do. Because most times when you hear top goal scorer, it's within the bracket of 17 and 19, as if they are shying away from the 20 goal mark. I stand to be corrected. I think only one person has done that. I think it's Udo, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what Ahmed Musa's own words. It was still within that range too, because at one point in time he was the top scorer at the MPFL. But like I said, congratulations to him. It's not an easy one to have such number of goals for a league that's as tight as the Nigerian Premier League.
All right, thank you so much. Comrade Soko, I think I'll be staying with you for now. And one of the critical things we would be looking at is the Super Eagles. Our fans are calling out for the nomination of Reynard as the coach, a proposed coach for the Super Eagles. And as we already know, Hervé Renard is a Frenchman who happened to have coached so many African countries, say like the Zambia, Ivory Coast, and a whole lot of it. So just to add up to what you answer about the top scorer in the MPLF, FL, and the rest, just add it up to this. Do you think that what the fans are clamoring for us to have a Renard as a coach is the right choice in the right direction at this point?
Thank you very much, Mr. Godwin. I wouldn't just go as far as saying that Reynard is the right choice for the Super Eagles team as at now. But antecedents have proven that the Super Eagles perform better with foreign coaches. It is sad to say, but it is the truth. When we had our indigenous coach, like for instance, Olise, and more recently, Finidi George, we found out that they had a very serious falling out. I don't know if it's their man management skills that is lacking. I won't go as far as calling it that. But the truth is that we have had more success with foreign coaches. I think the only indigenous coach that did really well was Steve Keshi, who took us to won our AFCON in 2013. Apart from that, our qualifiers to the World Cup, I think it was done by Roy. It was the foreign coach. And when you come to our major successes in the past, foreign coaches have turned out to be better off. They are able to bring more stability, and they are also able to defend what they believe in. For instance, we found out that he really did not have that direction for the team. He was not able to defend his policies, and what he believes in. If you ask me now, what is Finidi's ideology, I won't be able to really say it. But most of these foreign coaches, when they come and tell you that, okay, this is the path that I want to take. Whether you like it or you don't like it, you have to just go with them. I think the coach of Benin Republic that actually won us our last match was our coach, our immediate past coach. And he came out when he was the coach of the Super Eagles. He said he made a comment that our media, our journalists, all of them really got really mad at him. He said that our indigenous players were not good enough when he was quizzed on why he did not have as much indigenous players in his team. And whether that statement is true or false, that's not the point. The point is that he's coming out to say that the indigenous players are not what he needs. So these are players, these are coaches with ideologies. These are coaches that they are willing to defend what they believe in. So at this point in time, I think it would be a mistake for us to really go with an indigenous coach right now, because I don't know if they are overwhelmed by the job. I don't know if they are overwhelmed by the caliber of players in the team, and they start fighting, they start having ego problem, they start lacking man management. I'm not able to tell. So right now, I am in support for the clamor to get Renard. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, comrade, for your view of on Rogers Renard, the French coach. All right, so just to tell us viewers that the coach Renard has been in the act of coaching for the past 25 years, so he has experience for coaching. He had been coaching since 1999, and recently currently he is the coach of the French women's side. So just before Mr. Raphael also make his comment, I want to let us know that Renard has previously been the manager of Zambian national team, with whom he won the 2012 African Cup of Nations, and he also won the competition in 2015 with Ivory Coast, being the first coach to win two African Cup of Nations with two different teams. So, Mr. Raphael.
Yeah, I was going to go to that. Winning the African Cup of Nations back to back with two different teams, and not just winning it, these teams were playing good football. They were playing good football. But my problem with the Nigerian body is this: do they want a coach that will be independent, that will not be tied down to them, or because the problem that I see most times with I know I'm going to hit what's it called? I'm going to hit Comrade Soko this morning. I remember him saying he would prefer Finidi George for continuity's sake so that things will just flow. And one thing that we must all know is this: yes, everybody loves continuity. We are seeing continuity now from one president to another president. Everybody loves continuity, but most times these things don't really work as we want it to be. Now, NFF might come tomorrow and debunk the whole rumor about Renard, because everything about NFF is debunking rumors. There's no one that is true about them, which means they have a very porous media who allows information go out, and then what you come out to do is debunk. Indigenous coaches, I don't think we are ready for them yet. Even the Stephen Keshi that succeeded in 2013 had his own issue in 2014. He had his own issue in 2014, to the point that, from what I read in one of the dailies, there was a point he was on his knees begging for them not to allow him lose his job at one point in time. And this was somebody who just got us the African Cup of Nations, for crying out loud. And my issue with the local coaches is this: for all of them who have tried, from Sia to Sunday Olise and to now Finidi George, is the fact that they cannot stand to face what they did during their period. Do you understand me? Because even they themselves were not better footballers when it comes to character, because they had their own issues as footballers than when they played. So you know what you have given, you're afraid of somebody dishing it out to you, and then you come there with this stone wall. I remember what happened during Olise's tenure. It was reported that he came into the dressing room and started attacking the senior players, and you can't do that to your team, because these guys will always, I said it before on this show, they will still be there. How many matches Penidi played? He has just played only how many games, and he's off. But those players are still there. Do you understand me? But one thing I've discovered over time, and some of them have come to speak up, people like Samson Siasa have come to speak up. That was what I was saying on this show, that Finidi should talk now, not when they finish you, they remove you, you come and start saying this is why, and so on and so forth. Because the reason why he stepped down, after playing 2 games, they had a meeting with him to discuss how they need to go forward. But nobody ever told him in that roundtable discussion that they were going to have a foreigner coming to work with him. It was after he left the meeting, he started hearing it from outside. Do you understand? Now, the idea of having a local coach is because, if you ask me, I stand to be corrected, and I'm sorry to say, these people want someone that they can manipulate, they can use to do their bidding, and so on and so forth. And when they bring in a foreigner who is not ready, that's why you see Nigeria hire foreign coaches, but you cannot see Nigeria hire a well-recognized coach. We have seen countries in Africa, Avram Grant coaching, if I start to be corrected, Kenya, if I'm not mistaken, or Zambia rather, Avram Grant. We've seen Houghton coach Ghana. We've seen Seedorf coach Cameroon. We've seen Conceição coach Cameroon. These are coaches that are celebrated worldwide. And even Renard coach Zambia, coach Cote d'Ivoire. But anytime you hear Nigeria want to get a foreign coach, you're hearing foreign names that you have to go and be searching to know if they've ever done anything before. So I think this whole issue surrounding either getting a foreign coach or getting a local-based coach, but the NFF just need to get to a point where they need to allow these coaches work with the footballers independently.
All right, so viewers, we know you have your own view of what we're discussing here this morning, and we will look out to getting your views and your comments. But before we go up to the foreign scene, I want to let you know that the Super Eagles coach or whosoever that we coach the Super Eagles team is not dependent on whom we all desire. It must be who we deliver. It must be someone who is going to take us to the promised land, just like Moses did. All right, so let's let's move away a little bit from Nigerian sports, where we'll go to the foreign scene and the current happening now, the trending now on the world of sports in the international level is the Euros 2024 and the Copa America 2024. All right, so let me run down the group stage, the results of the group stage so far on Copa America 2024. We have Group A with Argentina first with 6 points, Canada second with 3 points, while Group B we have Venezuela first with 6 points and Ecuador second with 3 points. Then Group C we have Uruguay first with 3 points after one match played so far, and USA with 3 points also with one match played. Then Group D we have Colombia with one match played, 3 points, and then we have Brazil with one match played, 1 point. So comrade and Mr. Raphael, I would like to have your view. Why do you think what do you think about the Copa America, where we see the likes of Brazil struggling to win a match? They drew their first match, and we also see the likes of the Argentines, who are also thrilling very well at 2024 Copa America.
Okay, first and foremost, I would want to toe the line of two legends who have spoken recently. That's Ronaldinho, who has said he's not going to be watching the Copa America.
Why?
Because the Brazilian team is saying no longer has that Brazilian flair that everybody used to know them for. And then Ronaldo.
But just to correct that, I think he came back again to say only did that to get all of the media frenzy to himself.
I doubt that. I strongly doubt
How
that.
can the Brazil we know be struggling against Costa Rica?
I strongly doubt that, because even the Ronaldo De Lima came out and said recently, I think yesterday or today, that football these days, that even he's struggling to watch football nowadays, because football is becoming boring.
Yeah, but you know Ronaldinho actually mentioned that, because it looks like the media has forgotten Ronaldinho, so he just said that to drag attention.
Now let me tell you
himself.
why I drew the conclusion from these two people. Now, one of them said he can't watch this team because of how they play. That is not what he knows the team to, because he was part of that team. And then the other one comes to tell you that football is boring. Now, I was listening to one of our sister stations, or I'll give some analysis, where now everybody is looking for a goalkeeper. Instead of a goalkeeper that will save ball, you're looking for a goalkeeper that can pass ball. Instead of looking for a defender that can defend ball, you're looking for a defender that can pass ball. You're looking for an attacker. Instead of scoring, they're looking for an attacker that can come into the midfield and collect ball and do this and do that. Unlike before, where players had free hand to do the likes. And he mentioned people like Ronaldinho himself, who you want to watch football, you hear that Ronaldinho is playing. Remember when Nigeria wanted to play Brazil in Abuja Stadium, people came to see Okocha and Ronaldinho display skills. There was that excitement. But now you watch football these days, you don't see any of those things on the screen anymore. When Anthony came into Manchester United, the guy was doing all those skills and was scoring goals first 3 games. I think somebody told him, "Oh God, no, wait, he can't do for you." Do you understand? So now the Brazilians that we know, when you watch the Brazilian team play, you hear names like Ronaldo, Kaká, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos, and the likes. You know a lot of things are about to happen. But you watch and then, mind you, in the Brazilian team, it's just like the Spanish team, where is either you're playing for Real Madrid or Barcelona or maybe Atletico Madrid. But in the Brazilian team today, yes, we have Rodrigo and Vinicius playing in Real Madrid. The other players, where are they from? Maybe Martinelli from Arsenal, Gabriel from Arsenal. You'll be hearing somebody from West Ham, Newcastle, and maybe someone even playing a league in Saudi Arabia, making the Brazilian team. So, of course, the flair is no longer there again. That's why you find a Brazil team. struggle against Costa Rica. I bet you if that same Brazilian team meet Argentina, I don't know what they will see that day. And even Argentina is not having it easy. The last game they won, I've forgotten who they played. It was, I think, Chile. They won by a goal to nil. And that game came later in the game. Do you understand me? So, and someone rightfully said that Copa America is a very, very strong tournament. I know the South American countries are not very much. I think there are about 9 of them. Yeah. So they had to extend invitation to North American teams like Mexico, Canada, USA, and then some Caribbean teams like Panama and Jamaica, and then Costa Rica to join them to beef up the whole tournament. But at that, if you check even those that joined them, they are beating those ones like what I don't know. But when they now meet themselves, it becomes a different ball game entirely.
All right, thank you, Mr. Raphael. Just because of our time, I'll come to you, Comrade Soko, and I'm not going to make or dwell in Copa America. Instead, I'm going to run down the next round of 16 for the Euros 2024. The first match we have is Switzerland against Italy, and then we have the host country Germany against Denmark, and we have England against Slovakia. We have Spain against Georgia, who is appearing for the first time in such international gathering. All right, and we also have France against Belgium, Portugal against Slovenia. We have Romania against Netherlands, and then finally Austria against Turkey. So what's your overview of the Euros 2024 so far?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. The Euros have been really, really exciting so far.
Is it more exciting than AFCON 2023?
Yes, I think the Euros in terms of quality.
What quality, sir? What quality, sir? What quality, sir?
No, they have more quality. They have more talent. They have more stars. If I should ask Mr. Raphael to name 7 stars from the AFCON, I think he's going to struggle. But when it comes to the Euro, you see, just last night, we saw our Napoli second in command. He was the one that really inspired Georgia to win that particular game. So personally, I feel that the Euros have more quality and they are showcasing really, really good football. And I think that the gap between the so-called established teams and the new crop of teams, I think is actually shrinking. The Georgia side that defeated Portugal 4 or 5 years ago, Portugal will give them 7-8-0. But you can see what happened last night. Also, you saw Austria. I think Austria is the best team in this tournament. If I should start my prediction now, I see Austria winning their game against Turkey. Because to me, I feel that they are the most exciting team in the tournament. Then Romania has played very, very good football. They were able to top a group that had Belgium, that had Ukraine. They were able to come out on top, even though everybody finished
4 points.
The same points, 4 points in that particular group. They were able to top that group based on goal difference. So Romania has done really, really good. Then Slovenia has not done badly, but I don't see them being able to win Portugal in the round 16. Then France against Belgium, that's going to be a clash of the titans. I don't know if I will be able to call that, so I'm not going to call that. I'm going to leave that out. There's Spain against Georgia. I don't see Georgia being able to pull out another last night's results against that game, against that Spanish team. And Spanish team has been able to live up to expectation. They have been playing very, very well. Then England against Slovakia. I can tell you that England has been really, really underwhelming. They are the Super Eagles of the Euros. The expectations.
Be careful of your words.
Has been really, really high, but they have not been able to mash up these expectations with all their stars, with all the hype, with all the media attention. They have performed really, really poorly. Apart from the first game that they won, the rest of their games have been really, really poor for England. Then Germany against Denmark, I see Germany winning that particular game. Then Switzerland against Italy. I'm going to give that to the Italians. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibuka.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Raf, and also Comrade Soko for that very insightful prediction that you have given to us. I think we are running very fast out of time, but just to pick on one or two things there, we can only wish the best team the best of the tournament. One thing that really got me is that football is changing and you cannot really relegate anything, most especially in yes, a whole lot is changing. So we wish all teams the best of play in the European Cup. So
Thank you so much, viewers. At this point in time, we'll have to halt for today, and we want to say thank you for joining us on this exciting journey through the world of sports. I also want to appreciate our guest for today, Mr. Raphael Jokomo.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much for joining us on this
Thank you
journey.
very much.
And comrade, thank you also for being a passenger on this journey of sports, all the updates today. I will not forget to thank my co-pilots. Thank you so very
thank you
much
so
for
much, Mr.
flying
Oka.
this
The
flight
nice
with me this
anchoring
morning.
with you.
All right, thank you. All right, so don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more news updates. And until next time, goodbye from us on Now Streaming Show. Remember, you are not alone. Bye bye.